So, let's talk balance changes. That's right, everyone. Patch 36 came out and there's some big balance changes that came alongside with it. This patch featured a ton of nerfs, like an absolute metric ton here. So, I just wanted to go through some of them here, and I wanted to talk about the patch notes. You can't see them right now, but now you can. Anyway. So, starting off with the top stuff here, Dart Monkey. So Dart Monkey got a little bit of a bottom path buff with the range cross path here. So you have slightly more range on your sharpshooter as well as your crossbow master, and a price reduction on crossbow master as well. I honestly don't think it needed the price reduction at all. Like, I feel like crossbow master is a very, very fine tower. It does exactly what it says on the tin there. It is cheap. It is efficient, it'll carry the first 80 rounds of the game, it'll struggle afterwards, but that is okay, because it is not supposed to carry, it is supposed to be a bridge. So, just enabling it to be a bridge there, it's fine. I think, if anything, the Reddit overreaction here was a little bit much, right? I mean, overall, fine buffs. I think that getting a bit more range on your sharpshooter there is always nice. Boomerang Monkey. Now, glaive ricochet ignoring obstacles, actually massive. One of the biggest things that was a frustration with this tower was something like Peninsula here, where you would throw and it would just hit a wall there and you would just do nothing and you'd just be like, wow, this tower sucks. So now, it doesn't have to do with it. And it got a price reduction as well. I think this just goes to show you that, like, the meta has not really favored glaive ricochet at all. Like, you don't want to go for glaive ricochet, you don't want to go for more glaives outside of, like, very specific races. So, just giving it some more buffs here, you know, like extra pierce, the extra jump distance is massive there as well. That's big, that's big. They gave more glaives of jump distance reduced there, which is, like, okay, whatever. And then they gave Glaive Lord a price reduction as well. Glaive Lord is just not a great tower, so giving a bit of an extra cost reduction there, I don't think it'll see play still. I think Glaive Lord is still very underwhelming. Like, for example, Glaive Lord kind of fills the same role as a Crossbow Master does, where it's supposed to be like this go-to tower where you'll go from, like, having this big power spike into your bigger power spike. Crossbow Master does it so much better, but it's still like $30,000. It's just not going to do all that much. And then Boomerang Paragon granting some extra range to other primary towers, including Paragons. Really cool buff. I don't think it really needed it. I think that Boomerang Paragon was already incredibly strong, but great. It's attack speed. Even better. Boomerang Paragon granting attack speed. A very good Paragon now. I already thought it was like one of the top 3 Paragons. I thought it was like Ace, NG, then Boomerang, and then the rest there. But now that it actually gives attack speed, I mean, it's still not going to be breaching the top 2 for bosses or anything like that, but it's really good. It's really good. Alright, tack shooter. So, they want to make cross-pathing your tack shooter. They want to make it, like, actually significant here. But the problem is that instead of buffing up the pierce cross path, what they've done is they've nerfed the attack speed cross path. So they've nerfed the attack cooldown bonus from 40% to 25%. It's pretty big. It's pretty big here, but I don't feel like it kills the tower. I don't feel like this kills the tower at all here, so I think it's fine, but I think that Overdrive is now, like, a lot worse than it was before. And then Hot Shots gains the attack speed here, like, okay, understandable, right? Fine. Alright, Arctic Monkey, so they're nerfing Arctic Wind here because it turns out that once everyone learned that Snowstorm was, like, really, really, really strong, that everyone started using Snowstorm, and they're like, whoa, 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 whoa. We've served our purpose here. We've gotten everyone to use Snowstorm, now it's time to reel it back in. But the thing is, I still think that these buffs here are still really good. And then giving Cryo Cannon back its pierce, like, they really hit Cryo Cannon very hard, so much so that it almost killed the tower. So them finally nerfing, like, undoing the nerf on Cryo Cannon here is much, much, much better. Glue Gunner. So our blue rework last update wasn't quite ready soon enough to go into the embed balancing of how the new mechanics felt before release. So now they're upping the blue liquefier rate there. attacks faster there. The glue puddles in duration increase there as well. These are some pretty massive buffs here to Bloon Solver. Just being able to, they're really trying to push Bloon Solver. They're really trying to push it as like one of the premier Super Ceramic killers in the late game. And then they're also buffing it Relentless Glue. I don't think Relentless Glue is really that amazing still. I still think Relentless Glue is like a step too far there. There might be some challenges or whatever where you could find use for some of these buffs here, so yeah. Sniper is feeling good. So that pretty much what they're doing here is they're actually making it a competitive choice between whether you want to go for top path cross-pathing or mid path cross-pathing on your Elite Defender now, which I think is really good. Yeah, I mean, now that it's more of a choice of like, do you want extra supporting damage on your Elite Defender, or do you want to be able to do really big single target damage here? So this is, the difference is, do you want to deal with like 98 really well, or do you want to deal with 100 really well? So, just an overall buff here. I like this sort of buff. I think this adds a lot to the game. I think that this is like the right way of trying to increase cross-path viability, right? Rather than doing it the way that they've done it here, I would rather than buff up the Pierce cross-pathing, or like just overall buff up the tack shooter as a whole. Because like tack shooter 4 tier 2 is not a good tower. I mean, when you invest in a tack shooter, it's a really good tower, but I don't really like that sort of philosophy. Anyway, okay, so Monkey Buccaneer is kind of a big one. I initially read this as like a massive nerf, right? So they've done a little bit of rebalancing here. They've reduced cross-pathing pricing on faster shooting double shot, long range on Crow's Nest there. I think that's absolutely amazing, right? I think that these are really good buffs here. You're never going to go for just like a Buccaneer to try to stabilize, but stuff like this just means that you're going to use more stuff like this in chimps, right? Good changes. The dot damage on Hotshot as well. Hotshot was something that you were punished for going for a Hotshot because you would struggle to deal with purples more often than not, right? So you never wanted to go for Hotshot. But them increasing the dot damage from 1 to 2 there, now suddenly that's big, right? You might think that it's a 1 damage increase, but you're going to get a lot more damage out of this thing now. This is kind of the big one. So the cannon ship now reduces the attack cooldown of the cannon. So it was only affecting the main guns before. So to compensate for this, they've had to reduce the cannonball damage to bonus to the Moabs there and on the Pirate Lord, because now apparently this just deals like way too much damage. So yeah, I wanna test out the Monkey Buccaneer, see what it does there, but yeah, it's still fine. Downdraft got a little bit of a nerf here by, you know, having it remove the ice and glue effects from blown balloons there. It's fine, it doesn't really matter all that much, it's mostly just for extra stalling, so you know, if you used Geraldo with it there and trying to stall out rounds for a very long time, you're still gonna play, trust me, you're still gonna play Downdraft here. Alright, another big change, Wizard Monkey! Got the Dragon's Breath nerf here. I mean, it was inevitable. Dragon's Breath was one of the best towers in patch 35 there, so honestly, kind of makes a lot of sense here to try to tone it down a little bit. The attack rate getting an extra, what, 25% added on there? Pretty big, and the bonus ceramic damage also definitely affects it now. So now you can't just go for a regular old Dragon's Breath here, you're most likely going to have to go for an Alchemist alongside with it there. Still gonna be amazing tower, honestly. Super Monkey! Higher tiers of the bottom path have struggled to compare to clusters of tier 3s for a while now. Yeah, because they suck. Wow. Who would have thought? So now essentially they're giving the Super Monkey bonus ricochets, right? Like Quincy's shots. And now they're reducing the cost by 4,555. No, 40, no, it would be 4,445. God damn it. And then they increase the camo bonus here. I just think these changes don't really help the tower. You're still never going to prioritize a Dark Champion over something like Tech Terry. You're never going to prioritize it over Robo Monkey, even Sun Avatar or anything like that. It just feels like this is just unneeded. It's a cool change, but every tower does what this does for better, right? If you save up 55,000, there are just so many better towers. Ninja Monkey. I think caltrop inconsistency power on the top, and 1 tier 5 is also frequently unused caltrop on the screen. Plus, you're relying on balance lifespan reducing the number of ways on the screen like another glass in the Spike Factory. Seems like the least competitive Paragon. Oh my god, they're finally addressing the fact that Ninja Paragon is actually, as much as I hate to say, Ninja Paragon is the worst Paragon in the game. Like, I want to say that Boat is the worst Paragon in the game right now, but the meta evolved into a point where it's like Boat actually has some use on water maps, whereas Ninja just has no use. So they're increasing caltrop pierce, reducing the lifespan here for just tier 5. Wait, they're actually reducing caltrop lifespan in general? That's kind of a big nerf for some save ups there. Oh, that affects some shinobi strats. That's a pretty big one. Caltrop damage increased for Master Bomber, and they gained bonus ceramic damage in there for that's fine. And then they're reducing the cost of Ninja Paragon. I mean, I think it's a good change. Ninja Paragon is, unfortunately, the way that the boss meta has evolved at this point is evolved to a point where it is solely reliant on burst, right? You just have no time to utilize the extra damage that Ninja Paragon puts out, and it really does put out quite a lot of damage there if it has enough time. The problem is with Ninja is it's mostly utility based, where it has a global slowdown on balloons by, I can't remember how much, but I mean, I'll probably end up editing it or something like that. Yeah, Ninja Paragon getting a bit of a price buff there. Very neat, very neat. Druid. So another big change here. A lot of, there's actually been quite a few speedrunning changes. Druid getting a price increase of $100 might not seem like much, but it is pretty big. This means that it's going to cost like 1,280 to get now one impoppable there, which is really big. It's really big, because it's one more round of stalling that you have to do there, and Druid of the Jungle usually comes at a time where your initial defense will no longer be able to hold off, and you have to sell everything to be able to get it now. So this kind of affects that. Do I think that it's needed? Yes. Druid of the Jungle is like way too busted. Do I think Druid of the Jungle is in a better spot now? Yes, I do. Jungle's Bounty getting a price reduction though of $100, like, who cares? Jungle's Bounty sucks. And then getting a ability price increase, that's, or the ability base increase, that's great. Getting an extra $80 in there, awesome. Put this down to like 4,500 here, and Jungle's Bounty is like, wow, okay, this is actually a strat now. Alright, another big nerf here. So there's been a lot of big nerfs in this patch so far, and it only just keeps continuing. Spike Factory. Balls get nerfed. Balls get hit. And let me tell you, I think that, like, out of all of the changes here, I mean, don't get me wrong, Wizard Monkey, big change. You know, Tack Shooter, big change, right? Out of everything here, these are the changes that scare me the most. Because Spike Factory getting a reduction, Spike Factory is, or Spike Balls is so critical for a lot of chimp strategies that I worry that it is no longer going to make some strategies viable there. But I want to wait and see on that. I don't want to, you know, pull it before I see it there. But on top of that, Permaspike has had its Prius reduced by half. And it's insane. Now this means that the tower before round 80 is just like, this tower does not do anything. After round 80, where you can deal with super ceramics, it's a little bit better. But before round 80, Jesus Christ, you can't rely on Permaspike at all. Because it is just going to eat up. Like, round 78 before, you'd be able to tank an entire round 78. Now I worry about that. But yeah, it's still, overall, this is still like a, what, a 30% reduction in power? But it was like the best tier 5 in the game. So, I mean, it needed a nerf. But didn't, like, I now think it's gone from, like, one of the best tier 5s in the game to, like, I think it's, like, mid-tier. I mean, like, I could still see myself using it, but you have to, like, invest into it. You really need to invest in a Permaspike now to try to get to work. So, yeah. It's a pretty heavy nerf to Permaspike here. I still think it's viable, I just don't think it is by far one of the best. Like, before if it was like an S+, now it's like an A-. And then Monkey Village. They buffed cash producers coming out of Village. So they really want to emphasize people using Village buffs here, especially in things like boss battles and all that fun business there. So they've actually buffed up farming for once. Kinda crazy, right? Alright, cool. XXL trap. So, faster firing trap. So the top path trap just hasn't been working, right? It was always better to go for mid-path trap there because you'd at least be able to throw where you need it. Like, the only reason why you'd go for top path was because you liked sentries. Didn't really make a lot of sense. So, now what they've done is they've affected the deploy rate there, so that it is been... Now it actually throws a lot later, but now it should work. That it actually works properly here where you get the fast cooldown and everything. So, if you stick this at the front of a... trap there, or in front of a path, that's what I'm trying to think of here. It should be able to eat up quite a lot indeed. The biggest change out of all of this though is that the balloon trap now defortifies anything that it consumes. So that means that your trap is no longer going to get hit by like 3 super ceramics or like 3 fortified ceramics there and then it's going to retreat back to you. Now it will eat like 6 whole ceramics there and then you'll have to redo it all over again. Good. Slider Dora nerf, they have nerfed the damage to fortified balloons when people realize that the extra fortified damage is insane. Very needed. Adora is one of the best heroes in the game right about now, so it's like by far the best late game hero, so it makes a lot of sense. And then her role though here. From what I understand here, they have lessened the rate at which Pickles comes back into the shop. So now it takes a little bit longer for Pickles to come back into the shop here. Stack of Nails definitely needed a refresh rate here, and like late game Stack of Nails sucked, so getting some extra PS on it, a lot better. Oh, they're changing the attack speed reduction there. Oh, that's a lot bigger of a change. This means that Pickles makes the tower attack even slower. That's a lot bigger of a change than I initially. So it's still worth on like relatively fast firing towers that do 1 damage. It's just now you're not going to really prioritize it on anything other than like some very, very niche circumstances here. But yeah. They've also nerfed fertilizer duration by 1 round. Makes sense. You had it up all the time there. Yeah, so they've nerfed all that. They're buffing Rabbit here because Rabbit was just like... So wait, you only need... So from what I understand this, you only need 3 rabbits now instead of 4 rabbits, which makes it a little bit better, but like, Rabbit was like, whatever. And then the glue also got nerfed a little bit here by Moabs and everything, taking out more PS, right? Oh, wait, have they nerfed? Have they nerfed the extra PS taken? So wait, that means that glue will now last longer in the late game there. So now you're more incentivized to use the glue, because, I mean, the glue just did nothing everything. They actually buffed late game glue. I didn't actually think Corolla would be seeing a sizable buff this patch, but this is actually a sizable buff. Like, the rest of these, like, the Stack of Nails and the Rabbit changes, that is just text. Those don't matter. The fertilizer and the pickle reductions, those are sizable nerfs. But this is, like, actually a pretty big buff, because now you can actually glue a few things. And then the spike, so the spike traps on Dark Dungeon, they weren't intended to have a stun element. So this is kind of what I was really surprised with. I was really surprised with Dark Dungeon actually having traps that scaled into the late game. What? Well, like why did they stun for so long? I was like, dude, this shouldn't make a lot of sense here. Like, I think it's really cool that it does. But I think that ultimately, yeah, like, reducing the stun from, like, 6 to 1 second there makes a lot of sense. Like, I feel like you shouldn't be able to get away with it as much as you did. And then there's, like, statue ball changes there to make statue, like, somewhat okay, but it's only to tier 2 and tier 3, and, like, tier 1 is just god-awful, so... So yeah, overall, a pretty big patch, right? So like the biggest changes I'd say in this patch are probably changes to, like the Boomerang Paragon there. That's a pretty massive one. The Tack Shooter in particular, big change. The Buccaneer one with the attack speed now working on the cannon there, huge. Wizard Monkey getting some pretty sizable nerfs there as well. Druid's a little bit. Spike Factory I feel like got the biggest nerfs out of everything here. This is going to change a lot of how Chimps is going to work. So yeah, I think that overall, like a pretty solid patch, but there are some things I don't agree with. Like I don't really agree with the Spike Factory nerf, the Pierce nerf on the Spike Balls there, but hey, we'll see how things play out. I mean, Bloons players, they're pretty adaptable, you know. They can make things work. So anyway. That is my official patch rundown here. Shazam. Oh, also Beast Handler got added as well, and it's not that great. Okay, cool.